We'd like to draw attention to actually two of the consequences of the COVID crisis that deserve that attention and perhaps don't have as much public awareness as I think they ought to. One is, as a result of the COVID crisis, we're seeing the trust funds for Medicare and Social Security approach insolvency on a much more rapid timetable than we'd anticipated. And secondly, we're adding up a lot of debt. We're going to have over $27 trillion of debt. And that debt requires interest to be paid every year. That debt has the potential of creating more inflation down the road. And of course, it could lead potentially to an economic calamity way down the road for people who come behind us. And as a result, Republicans and Democrats on a bipartisan basis have been working together. And that includes Senator Joe Manchin, Kyrsten Sinema, Angus King, Doug Jones. This is a group of people who have come together, and Mark Warner, along with about a dozen Republican senators. We've all been working together to see if we can't address this. And in the House, there are some 30 Democrats and 30 Republicans that have all written House leadership and said this approach of the Trust Act needs to be included in the next COVID relief package, in the HEALS Act, if you will. And the approach is quite simple, which is we create a process, a bipartisan, bicameral process to address each one of these trust funds individually. So a committee for each one of them to look at how to make them solvent on a long-term basis. And if we reach a bipartisan conclusion and bicameral conclusion, then that can come to the floor on an expedited basis. We have to address the solvency of our trust funds. They're vital to our seniors and to our entire nation. We also have to finally deal with the amount of debt that we're adding up as we rescue appropriately the American people from this terrible COVID crisis.